All right. Where am I? Put this over here. I think we're live now. Do a little theme song to open up. All right, what's up, Turtle Riders? Welcome to a special edition of the Uncle Turtle Boys Late Night Garage Podcast. With us today, we have a special guest, a friend of mine. She's a longtime turtle rider, and don't hold this against her, but she's originally from Fall River. She's not like that, though. I swear to God. Mindy Robinson, how you doing, Mindy?
Pretty good. Crazy week, but good.
I'm sure. Thanks for coming on with us.
Of course.
You're out in California, right?
Yes, right now, for a couple more days, and I'll be back, on the road, whatever.
Of course. Yeah, so Mindy's got a website, redwhiteandfu.com, very original, and I don't know, it's kind of like, how would you characterize it, like a conservative version of Turtle Boy, or?
It's unapologetically patriotic was the theme of the show. Yeah. I was getting mad at people saying they were getting offended if people wore the flag or said America, and that just pissed me off. So okay. The whole site is patriotic. Obviously, I'm a raging right-wing troll, but I call out my own when I see it. I've done it in the past, and I think that's the right thing to do. Maybe that's what everyone should do, call out people that behave badly, whether they're pushing your narrative or not. So that's the basis of the site. It's technically, I guess, bipartisan, but most of the narrative is going to be pro-gun, pro-America, right. Pro-veteran, pro-police.
Yeah, I mean, like the conservatives you've called them out for being frauds. There's been a few you've called out in the past.
Bill Mitchell.
Oh, the guy who ran against Omar Navarro, the guy that loses to Maxine Waters every 2 years, the tradition. You called him out a while back. You called out Bill Mitchell.
I sure did.
Bill Mitchell's a big name, obviously.
He was screwing one of our friends over. He said some racist things in text. He was using campaign money for things he shouldn't have.
And he's a bad drunk.
Of all of it.
Yeah, he's a really bad drunk, too. I saw the video. That was good stuff. I like that because you're not afraid to call out your own. There's like this unwritten rule I think is stupid where you're like not supposed to call out bullshit on your own team because you're all fighting for the same team, which I think is garbage, right? If you see people behaving badly on your side, right? Quite frankly, I think they give your team a bad name, right?
Well, I think that's the whole point. If they're committing fraud, then they're not on my team, and I need to disavow them and separate that. Yeah. There's enough people in this world that love America. I don't need to deal with some shitbags that are trying to ruin it for everyone else. You know better than crazy leftists.
Yeah. So speaking of shitbags, so the reason we're having this discussion today is because this guy, Bill Pulte. Now, I first found out about Bill Pulte in August. Some turtle riders on Twitter started messaging us like something doesn't smell right about this guy. So Bill Pulte is the lucky sperm grandson of a real estate magnate who quite frankly, I think we haven't really got into this much and we're not going to talk about too much, but it seems like their empire is built on hurting a lot of people. I mean, that's what it looks like. The real estate. A lot of people are not happy with Pulte homes. And so here comes this 31-year-old who is sitting on the board of directors of his granddaddy's company or whatever. And now, I don't know if does he own the company?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Whatever he is, everything.
So I don't know if he directly works with it anymore, but definitely that's where his money came from, screwing Americans over on houses, building moldy houses. Really shady transactions. He would try to finance them too, and it would take too long, and he would keep the deposit. I mean, really, really shady things where that money comes from. And I find it interesting whether you're going to say whether it's his company or his grandfather's company. He made money from it. He inherited it. Why isn't he helping the people that got screwed over making it instead of random, creepy people most of the time on Twitter.
Yeah.
So, raises that question, I say.
He started this like Twitter philanthropy thing in like what, June? I don't even know when he started it.
I don't even know. I just kind of saw it. I thought it was a scam. I really didn't pay attention. I think you guys, they're like, oh, it's data mining. I'm like, well, yeah, probably.
Oh, so you found out about it through Turtle Boy when we first started writing.
I had seen it, and I just assumed it was a scam. Yeah. So I just went past it, and then you did a whole thing on it. I'm like, well, I don't know, it's scammy. And, I read through it. I'm like, yeah, this is pretty much what I figured. Yeah. And it was everything else around it that ended up being a bigger deal, I think, in the end. Right.
So if you're not familiar with Bill Pulte and this whole thing, basically, he starts this thing called Twitter philanthropy, and it gets a lot of press. So he's going to use social media to just give money away to random people, as opposed to legitimate charities, which are top heavy and, quite frankly, probably have a lot of waste. So he's like, I'm going to divvy it up how I want to divvy it. I'm going to help regular Americans. So it sounds good on paper, right? But it's the way he goes about it that's so freaking odd. What do you think about the way he goes about it?
It's disingenuous. You know what I mean? I mean, if you tweet the president, you're going to give $30,000 to a veteran. Of course, Trump, who loves the military, he's not going to not retweet it if this guy's really going to give $30,000, and it sounds like he is. Mm-hmm. But then again, he had to retweet him to get it. So you were only going to help this vet if the president retweeted him, which is not philanthropy. Yeah. It was him buying an endorsement from Trump in a way he knew Trump couldn't turn down. No one could. I hate the guy. I would still retweet something of his if it legitimately meant he was going to give that much money to a veteran. Right. It was really shady and crooked, and I think it rubbed people the wrong way almost from the get-go, really.
Yeah, it's the begging for retweets and followers that's like something really scammy about that. A guy that it was a requirement, right, to get money from him. First of all, you have to beg, which is just freaking weird and bizarre anyway. Like, you go on any of his things where he's like, I'm giving away $30,000. I'm giving away $1,000 to the first person who tweets this and gives me their email and then does this and this. And you're like, that sounds free, but you have to follow me and then tell 10 friends. It just seems like a pyramid scheme, right? And I'm like thinking about it. Yeah, and I'm just like,
well, he's like, you have to follow me so I can DM you if you win. You don't have to follow.
You know what I mean? You can open your DMs.
Like, if you win, you just announce who wins and they're going to contact you. Why do you really need to follow someone you don't? Yeah.
And so he went from like 30,000 followers, I think, in June. And then he starts this Twitter philanthropy thing. And by August, he's up to 500,000 or so, right? He's closing in on 1 million now. And he gets a lot of good press because of it, whatever. And so, my wheels start turning. And I'm like, okay, so how is he profiting off of this? Where's the scam in this? Because if he's legitimately giving money away, then how is this a scam? But then I realized, the most valuable currency that tech companies have, or that anybody has, is data, right? And so this guy's building a database now. He's getting your email address, right? Now they can find out, they're not going to go through a lot of people are confused with, data. They think it's oh, you're going to, steal my bank accounts. That's not what it means. That means that they're going to find out demographic shit about you. And then they're going to sell that data to companies so they can market ads towards you. It's not illegal. It's what Facebook does. It's what Google does, right? But it's disingenuous if he's really doing that.
I almost don't think he's smart enough to appreciate the data mining that's happening, but I do think people that are probably giving him money to give out do. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I think it's a byproduct of, I think to him it's all about ego and being Jesus Christ superstar while people beg for his crumbs. Bingo. And I think the byproduct of that is the data mining, which someone realizes is profitable, which is why he gets money to give out. I mean, he started off, I'm a millionaire. He's not a billionaire. I hate when people say it. I'm a millionaire and I'm giving away my own money. But is he? Because if you look at Cash App was doing the exact same thing. Follow me, retweet, sign up for Cash App, and you win $50, $100. They did it with rappers, several rappers last year. This is the same gig. Why would it be any different? And it's working for them. They're getting people signed up. They make money on every transaction, and it's a crap app. Yeah. You got PayPal.
What is Cash App? I've never used it.
People are getting broken into and everything.
Yeah. Why would anybody use Cash App? I've never used it. What does it do differently than Venmo and PayPal?
It doesn't. But you know what is different about it? Jack Dorsey, the CEO of Twitter, owns shares in it.
Yes, he does, and
now it's starting to make sense, right?
Right, and he seems to be friends with Dorsey. Like there's pictures of them together.
They got pictures together. I mean, he's doing him a huge favor. He's making his crap Cash App. He's elevating it. People have to sign up to get these like little sweepstakes because that's how philanthropy works. You have to sign up for an app and win sweepstakes.
Yeah.
And so like he's making money on it. Cash App is making money on it. Their stocks are going up. They're getting these every time someone has a transaction, they're taking part of it.
Yeah.
So they're making their money back, whatever they're giving away for him to give away.
So whatever's going on there.
I mean, he hasn't come out and said that Cash App is the one that gives him money to do it, but this is their model. This is their business model. This is what they've done everywhere else. Why would we think this is different? Except that he really needs people to think it's his money.
Right.
It's all about him.
It's about. Now you found out some interesting things that I didn't. So you kind of I threw a blog out there in August, and then people started questioning him. I think in September. So the blog started picking up again and all of a sudden gets traffic or whatever. But we didn't have like a smoking gun. You went deeper, right? And you found out some really interesting stuff in your research, right? Like, for instance, you found out, I like this one, that he's just a liar. Like, this was the weirdest lie I thought, was the one with the helicopter. So this guy, Crazy Uncle Tim, says, a local TV station in Arizona fact-checked his claim that he convinced the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office to post a chopper. So he claims, so this guy goes missing, a veteran goes missing in Arizona. And he says, Maricopa, and he tags them, right? And he's like, Maricopa County Sheriff Paul Pinzone, can you please dispatch your helicopter to find this missing veteran? He's been missing for 2 weeks. My teammates and I are willing to pay a private helicopter to pray for a search. And he's like, update, the sheriff's helicopter is in the air. So he's making it seem like, oh, I'm freaking Bill Pulte. I'm the cat's ass. I know I know a sheriff. I can get a helicopter in the air. Look at me. I'm so freaking special. Look at all those retweets and likes and whatever. And then ABC News comes in and like, nah, they released a press release saying they never did that. It's like, what?
That's god awful embarrassing. What a thing to lie about. Do you understand how narcissistic and psychotic someone has to be to take the credit of a search helicopter in their name? Someone else, you know what I mean? It's sick. It really is sick. And that's kind of, I think, one of the biggest things of this isn't right. And anyone that asked him a question about it got blocked.
Yeah,
so I'm like, this is sketch.
Shady,
and that's when I really dug into it. I dug into everything. And as I dug into it, way led on the way. And just exponentially, people just kept saying, this didn't add up. This GoFundMe's fake. This is weird. And I'm like, I remember just looking. I've never seen so much scammy shit in my life by a guy that's getting praised by everyone. And because he pays them, but he's getting praised by everyone.
And so his whole business model here, right? Like, there's no vetting whatsoever. You found a good one. You found a guy who is like literally talking, like one day he's talking about like banging his sister or his mother and all this stuff, and he made like $3,000. He just gives $3,000 to a sexual predator.
Yeah, the guy's like, I like incest, I like sleeping with my daughter. These are things that took seconds for people to find because it was just done. Like the guy just tweeted, these aren't like years ago, some bad joke. This guy's freaking weird, very weird. And he scammed other people that were part of the Pulte cut. That they just gave him money, and then it's just a mess. There's no vetting. It's a shit show. And it's just attracting all kinds of scam artists from every single way because Pulte was too freaking dumb to set up any kind of safety measures for his people. You know, he's got them screaming out their Cash App ID, and then people pretending to be him are like, send $10, verify your account, and then you win. Because there's no way to verify. There's absolutely no way to verify if it's a real Bill Pulte. There's no way to get their money back. They can't get their money back off this shitty app. Like, it's amazing. It's such a ripoff. And they've been doing these sweepstakes forever, so this can't be a problem that just happened, the last month or two. And then you've got the fake GoFundMes. They don't vet anyone in the GoFundMes. These people are frauds. The woman running all the GoFundMes. Like, you saw this fraudulent stuff I had. She's like, I have a need. I have a $778 electric bill. But number one, holy shit, what the hell? Is the fridge door open? And then in another post, there's an emergency domestic abuse victim. You know, they're in safety, they're in security, but they have this $778 electric bill.
That was weird.
And if you Google the broad up, she lives in the same city. It's the same power company. You mean to tell me that's a freaking coincidence?
No. No, of course
not. And she was running all the GoFundMes. Some of them were shut down. I don't know what happened to the money. There's no follow-through. What happened? Who were these people afterwards? There was one woman they collected items for. She said she was pregnant. She was married married to a 100% disabled veteran, and then people looked into her. She wasn't married to a disabled veteran. She was divorced. Like, it was just a shit show of what it's become. And this is not philanthropy.
No,
it is not philanthropy.
People are saying it's buffering. Are people, you guys buffering? I mean, I got good Wi-Fi here. I got all the bars here. I don't know why people would say it's buffering or why it would be. Sometimes it self-corrects. Does Turtle Boy know that this live is unlistenable? That's not good. Well, I am recording it on the podcast as well. So no matter what happens on YouTube, it will be smooth later on. But how is it, guys? Can you guys hear me? Or let me know in the comments. Can you hear? Can you see? People are saying it's cool now. Usually these things self-correct. So if there's an issue, it kind of self-corrects. I can hear everything. The video is buffering. All right. Well, we'll get through it. So as long as you guys can hear. Whatever. All right. So, because it's what we're talking about that's important here. So, anyway, I would recommend, we're not going to go over all the shit you're at because it's like freaking crazy, but I would recommend people go and read it. But I think the bottom line here is like, this doesn't prove right away that he's like stealing anything, but what it does prove is that his whole operation is a clown show. It's shady. It's not transparent. And the fact that he's blocking anyone who questions it even makes it more strange and bizarre, etc. Now, my big issue in the last 24 hours, what we've seen is like crazy personality shit, right? So let me pull up his Twitter. And actually, I'll just, let's see, Pulte, all right, because I had yours up here. Pulte. And when you search Pulte Cult on Twitter, it's like, you should see all the shit that comes up. So people are catching on to this guy, by the way. All right. No, there's Pulte Scam. All right. Just show us Mindy, they're saying. Okay, I'll just show you Mindy. There's Mindy. They're like, yeah, all right. Nobody likes me. It's better. Okay. So, anyway, I'm going to read, and I'll just bring up his Twitter right now in the story I did on it yesterday. So, here's Bill's latest tweets, right? You see the one today about, like, let me just read some here. So, let's see.
We have to remind people that he believes he was doxxed. He's being doxxed, harassed, and threatened over a publicly found number on the internet. And a lot of the things he's tweeting don't make sense. He's like, just stop texting my wife. And you're like, how did her number get out? Like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah.
Right? He had to get armed security. It's his pregnant wife. It's a hot shit mess. It's like a slander tornado on his Twitter right now.
Yeah. So it all started because there was a vet, right? That I think so. He teams up with this organization called Code of Vets. It's run by a woman named Gretchen Smith, a former Air Force veteran. Seems like a really nice lady, straightforward. You go to her page, it's all like, she's been doing it for years. It seems like genuinely good-hearted stuff. She has a nice family, and she's using her platform to help veterans. Now, I think it's like a crisis in this country. You are more likely to die if you go to war, you're more likely to die when you come home by killing yourself than you are in combat. That's like a crisis. So these people, they can't have enough resources, right? So this Code of Veterans is doing God's work. They're doing great, great work. And Bill Pulte, how do they come? Can you explain? How did they come in contact with Bill Pulte in the first place?
Well, first, you have to understand, Pulte's running this really sketchy-looking thing anyway, and I think he needed to legitimize it. And what way better than to ingratiate himself with a very legitimate charity, already doing good work, working for veterans, which is, you know, even the left doesn't usually crap on us for trying to do that. We love it. We don't think they're being taken care of enough, you know. You have one side, you have the left. Remember, Pulte he's trying to plead to the conservative people, you know, by helping vets and stuff like that. So I think instead of him trying to be legitimate, because there's no way he could have looked like it, he latched onto them, and it was mutually beneficial for a minute. You know what I mean? They were able to, if he retweeted it, they were able to, you know, get more traffic for this stuff. The thing was, it just became like you got one charity doing all this work, raising money, helping a vet, and then Bill Pulte comes in, and the entire article is about how amazing he is for helping them. Yeah. And he's literally put, like, the last car, he put no money into it. You know what I mean? But you would think, you know, it was all him. And Code of Vets was one sentence. in this giant article. And they vetted the person, they raised the money, they did all the work. And people donated to help a vet. They didn't donate to make some douchebag famous on Twitter. So just morally, it just wasn't going to work. Even though they were helping people, there was this weird by proxy, and we don't know what monster is going on here, you know. So wisely, I think that they thought that, hey, we need to get away from this guy. And so it started with the Marine. The Marine you're talking about, Pulte promised his autistic son a puppy. And they go back and forth because you can't just buy any puppy. It's got to be trained and all this stuff. And because he never followed through, the Marine posted all the screenshots as proof and accidentally put the phone number was attached in one of them. Now, Pulte goes off, but rails like I've never seen. My wife is pregnant. We're getting threats. We have security. I'm doxxed. I've been doxxed. I don't even know the word doxxed means. And meanwhile, the number was on the fucking internet the whole time. The whole time, anyone could have looked for it. And then the other things he's saying don't make sense. You know what I mean? Does he have a baby? Does he have one on the way? Does he have both? How is his wife getting text? Like, nothing makes sense. So, he wanted sympathy, and he ended up looking like an asshole. So I think even more people left him.
So, like, you know, you got this veteran here who I watched the video. He seems like a really nice guy, and he's, like, legitimately, like, not even, like, that mad. He's just like, hey, dude, you promised me a dog. Where the hell's the dog? And, like, kind of fucked up. You didn't give me that dog. Here's some text messages you sent me saying you were going to get me a dog, but he forgot to, like, redact the phone number. It was an honest mistake. The guy apologized for it. He's like, can't take it back. And that's it. It's just a freaking phone number. Like you said, it's readily available. Should I give out my phone number? Right? He said there one day. Another time, first of all, rich people have multiple phone numbers. Like, this guy's just got one phone number. Give me a break. Like, you're a freaking multimillionaire, and there's only one way to reach you? Give me a break. And so the self-victimization with this douchebag for a while there, I just thought he was shady. Now I see right through him. I see through con artists like this. Do I have proof? No. Okay? But what I do know is that this guy is using his freaking wife, and it's fucking gross what he's doing. It's absolutely gross. He kept saying, oh my God, we're being doxxed. We have people threatening us and going to stay safe out there, guys. Stay safe, teammates. We really need to be careful. We're all under attack. Like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Oh my God. And then you read the replies. And did you notice that in the replies, nobody ever disagrees with him? Ever.
He blocked everyone that did. The only people that can comment under his thing now are the people that were just the lottery rats in the first place. And that's why I think there were multiple posts about the same things. Anytime one got too negative and he blocked everyone, he would do a new one so no one would see those. You saw the negative posts drop off. Like, if you didn't have to tag it. If you retweet something about him, or you even comment, like some people just commented under Code of Vets and they were getting blocked. That's how deep, like, this guy can't see anything negative about himself. And these are questions. These are polite people. Some of these were his followers. Like, oh, why'd you give it to this? Boom. And they're like, you blocked me, I've been giving you money. Like, they don't even understand what the hell is wrong with the guy. But he was trashing that Marine, and I had a problem with it. Marine didn't dox him on purpose. There's no malice in it, you know what I mean? And it was a public fucking phone number. So I put myself out there, and now I'm the stalker, and Code of Vets.
He keeps calling you a stalker.
A Marine, a veteran charity, me. Like, it's like a giant slander tornado. There's half the stuff that he said about me. It was pretty funny. I'm like laughing at it. Don't believe it.
All this shit I've seen, he's saying that you and Gretchen are coming after him. When I saw that, I'm like, man, toxic masculinity needs to make a comeback. I remember a day when it would be embarrassing and humiliating to admit that, like, these two skinny blonde women are, you know, you're scared of them, essentially. And that's what he's saying. Because what are they doing?
I don't even think he knows what that word means. Like, that's... Am I knocking on your door, bro? No one even knows where you live. Not even get posted. Like, he's just... Whatever.
And like all the shit he said, I love how so he claims he's like under attack. And by the way, I love this picture. This picture speaks 1,000 words. When they gave away a car to somebody, and there's Gretchen in the background, and just kind of standing there away from the cameras. And there he is, like it's like fucking bends over. You know, every picture it's like, oh Jesus, dude, you're such a douche. Like, just look at him. Look at that fucking haircut. He just looks like such a classic prep school douchebag. That's the best way I can describe him. Like, I know a freaking douchebag when I see one, and this guy's a fucking douchebag extraordinaire. And I mean, his wife. I mean, I'd give it to his wife is freaking hot as hell. I'd protect the hell out of her too. But you know,
well, how the hell like supposedly they're stalking and harassing his wife, so he posts her picture.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
why? That's not a natural response if you actually believe that was happening.
Okay, so he goes on to talk. He keeps talking about like, okay, so my wife is under attack, and she's pregnant. He's playing that card, and my daughter was gonna sing her a song, and no, we can't play songs because like it's like, dude, how about this?
Just what? He went full liberal, and he lost a lot of people. Like when he started off with that, saying all those nasty things about me, I had like 10 nasty messages from his mindless rats, and then everything since has been positive.
Yeah.
And he misspelled my name, so they couldn't just ask me like, why would you say that? Well, here. Oh, okay. That's how every conversation went. They had to find my real name because he misspelled it purposely, four times.
Yeah.
Idiot. I don't know that don't work.
I because my private data was doxed. Dude, it's a fucking phone number, man. It's really not a big deal. You just get a new phone number if you want, And like, what are you, just turn your freaking phone off. How about that? Like, just, you want to play with your kids? Go play with your kids. Please, do not text my wife. Who the fuck put your wife's phone number out there? What are you talking about? Family should be off limits. The stalkers, Gretchen, Mindy, and Jane, like, what? You're encouraging all this shit to my wife. So, okay, so I can kind of relate to this.
Nothing to even do with it. They're not even, it's just amazing. Like, and you know what's interesting? Someone just sent me his follower count, like, over the last week or something. Mm-hmm. Here's a guy who's giving away free money if you follow him. And there are, like, 3 days where he's negative in the 1,000.
Really? So people are figuring him out.
Mm-hmm. And then, like, he's going negative, and he's kind of keeping his head above water. And then suddenly, a bunch of people just followed him recently. You should probably look into that, because that looks like he bought it, which is against Twitter terms of service. Mm-hmm. So, we'll see. I'm not saying he bought it. I'm just saying it kind of looks like he did.
Yeah.
Allegedly. That's what the leftist do does. Allegedly.
Yeah.
I think he might be purchasing them.
He uses a lot of leftist language, like this whole like self-victimization thing. I mean, but at the same, I mean, he's very careful to be apolitical. I'll give him that. He, he never says anything specifically. Like, I think if I were to guess, I bet you he voted for Donald Trump, wouldn't you?
I don't know. Someone sent me where he donated money to Hillary too.
Well, that's what rich people do. Rich people give to both sides because you have to risk. Like, it's like, well, what if she wins? I want to recommend it. That's just what rich people do, So, I mean, Donald Trump has probably donated to the Clintons before.
Yeah, probably.
So.
But, nothing political about anything that this guy does, but it does make me wonder. Is it just ego? Is he just like a maniac?
Yeah. So, let's see. Oh, God, I got a ratchet calling me right now. I'll call her back. We'll have her on the show tomorrow. I love this one. I just bought our police detail some food. I love law enforcement. Is there anything more cliche than that? Like, I can't stand when people do it. They're like, back the blue, support the troops. Like, look at it's like, dude, shut the fuck up.
I mean, I literally do support our troops.
Yeah, me too.
I support the blue, but I don't announce it like a virtue. So, like, look at me. I bought lunch for a policeman. I can't imagine doing that ever.
Yeah. And this is the whole thing. He's worried about his wife. And then he's like bragging that she's trending on Twitter. And it was. Mrs. Pulte is trending on Twitter. And he like puts a picture out. Isn't she beautiful? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so let me talk about it. I can kind of relate to this because as a somewhat semi-public figure out there, right, and my wife has nothing to do with what I do for a living, I hate when people bring her into things, right? And if it causes her stress. And so if my wife came to me, right, and she was like, you wrote this blog about this person and it's stressing me out. You know what I would do? I would just stop fucking talking about that person. Not him, though. He does the opposite. He just keeps it fucking going. You know what I mean? And that's what makes me think, I bet you she doesn't even know any of this is going on, if I was to guess.
I don't think she cares.
You don't think she cares? Right, yeah. She's like, I'm rich. What do I care? Like, oh no, somebody is saying mean things about me on Twitter. I just won't go on. How about that? Go tanning. It's like, that's her job, It's like,
I wouldn't give a shit.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I mean, like, I'm sure you can relate too, right? Like, you don't want to bring your boyfriend or whoever into this. Like, nobody wants... Right, like, you can...
I just, I try to get separation.
Exactly.
But I'm public, and that's, like, one of the reasons I took the heat for that Marine. He was shitting on this Marine. I mean, he told 750,000 people that this Marine was harassing them. What do you think? He knows what they're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's you're almost telling them to attack them and stuff like that. So I did the article, and now they're attacking me. You know what? I'm fine. I can take it. I'm right. Check everything I do. I got receipts. You know what I mean? I've never. Okay. I'll say like, I think this is wrong. Like, did you see when he wanted to sue me because
I saw it.
He's not giving away all his money.
Hold on one sec. Hold on 1 sec. I got this ratchet who's called me 10 freaking times. I'm gonna have her on the show tomorrow. I just gotta take her call real quick. Hold on. Hello. Hello.
So you're the person who likes to talk shit about people.
You can say that. Yes. How can I help you?
You can say that. What's your address so I can send the sheriff there with lawsuit papers?
I'm sorry. What is your name again? Which blog were you featured in?
Which blog was I in?
Yeah. What do we?
Anne-Marie you know my name. Obviously, it's coming up on your screen.
What name do? Oh, are you? What name did we give you?
You see my name on your screen because I can see your name on mine.
No, but we gave you a fun name. We always give you people names. We called you Can't. What did we call you? We wrote about you today, right? So we called you. No, we gave you we always give fun names. What do we call you? Oh, this is Can't Jemima. You're Can't Jemima, right? Are you Can't Jemima?
Apparently that's
okay.
What you want to call me.
So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna call you tomorrow during the live show. We're gonna talk then, okay?
No, I want your address because I'm not gonna be on a live show.
Okay, I'll call you tomorrow. I love you. You're bold, brave, and beautiful. I will give you a call tomorrow, okay? We'll talk soon.
No, because if you give me a call tomorrow, I'm gonna embarrass you on your live show.
Oh, snap.
Tiny ass little turtle head fucking dick.
Please don't do that.
I want to give me your address so I can send the sheriff's there with lawsuit paperwork.
Oh, I definitely want to give you my address. You sound stable.
And emotional abuse.
What do you think of Bill Pulte? Do you have any thoughts on Bill Pulte? We're talking about him right now on the live. You're live, by the way.
I'm lying about what?
No, you're live. You're on the live show with Mindy Robinson.
I'm on live with good because.
Hey, how you doing, Can't Jemima?
You like horrible things about people, and then you don't answer for it. I want your address so I can file a lawsuit for emotional distress and harassment against you.
Okay.
And you are unwilling to provide your address because you're a piece of shit douchebag who has his head up his ass so fucking far.
Really far.
All he
really
can
far.
see is his own fucking bullshit that he spews out of his ignorant fucking cum-guzzling mouth.
Well, that's a great point. That's a great point. So here's what I'm going to do. But we're talking about Bill Pulte right now. Do you have any thoughts on Bill Pulte and data mining?
All I have is thoughts about you being a piece of shit scumbag cocksucker who likes to start shit and not finish it.
Now we're going to get demonetized because of you. Oh, God.
Give me your address so I can send the sheriffs to your house.
I was trying not to swear. I went a whole episode without swearing because I don't want to get demonetized. And then you call me a cocksucker. The Google's going to pick up on that. You know that, right?
I don't give a fuck what Google
Oh, God. Oh, jeez.
You're a cum-guzzling fucking cocksucker.
Oh, jeez Louise. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, first of all, I'm not a cum guzzler. I'm a swallower. Get it right, okay?
And you're a faggot, too.
Well, yes, I am. That's hate speech right there. Please don't call me that. Do you even know my pronouns?
You can call me what you want to call me.
Yeah,
Since
well...
you want to defame and disparage me on the fucking internet, I'll call you whatever the fuck I want to call you.
Just, no, you will respect my pronouns, miss, okay? You will respect my pronouns, okay? Now, I have to go. We'll call you later, okay?
I do not respect anything from you.
Okay.
You don't respect me.
All right. Well, I'll call you back, okay? I promise I'll call you back after the show, all right? Love you. Bye. All right. So she called like 10 times. I bet she'll keep calling, but whatever. So that was an interesting break. Anyway, welcome to my life. That's like what I deal with.
I thought my inbox was bad. Mostly just dick pictures.
Like,
I don't know.
You haven't been sued yet, have you?
No. Here's the problem. I've been threatened, and I had the lawyer call, and then they were like, "We're going to sue you for slander," and then I go, "Actually, it's libel because it was written.
Yeah.
And the defense to libel is the truth. Here's the truth. Have a good fucking day," and then I never see them again.
Yeah. So
I mean, they're never going to win. I'm always legally right. So one day maybe I'll actually fuck up. But I don't know.
I mean, the thing about it, you don't even have to fuck up. You just have to upset the wrong person, and
I know.
you won't lose the
But here's the
lawsuit.
thing. Here's the trick. I own nothing, and I'm always in the right every time someone's threatening to sue me. So they have something to lose if I countersue.
Right.
Way more than they'll ever get out.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's like I've never lost.
I mean,
I've been sued before.
I keep everything in writing. So.
I mean, I used to think that too. It's like, well, I'm right. I can back up everything I'm saying, so I'm not worried about it. And I've never lost a lawsuit. It's fun to win lawsuits. I win them all the time, right? But it's not fun to pay for them because you don't get that money back. And like I used to think like, oh, just countersue. It's like that's actually more expensive than getting sued, right? And there's no guarantee. It's like a big gamble, right? Because you might not win. You probably won't win because they never pay. Judges, never. I don't know. Maybe it's different in California, but in Massachusetts,
Pulte slandered me, and his little buddy Ali that he works with and pays for slandered me.
Yeah.
Take me to court. Like, I can prove everything you said was a lie. I can prove it.
Yeah,
not even hearsay, not anything. You literally be like, you lied here, you lied here, you lied here, and then you did it about 100 times. And all I have to do is prove, what do they always say? Deformation of character.
Well, what you need to prove, what you need to be able to prove to win a lawsuit is you got to prove damages. Can you prove that you lost money because of this?
Well, I don't know. That's the tricky part.
Yeah, that's the hardest part. Is like you got to be able to prove because they said this, I lost X amount of dollars. That's the hard part.
That is always the hard part.
Mm-hmm.
That's something like an accountant works out. I don't really.
Well, that's something that the lawyer works out. But that's like because that's a big thing that I've been sued. It's like I've been sued by these people. Not one of them has actual monetary damages. It's always like her, like I'm distressed. I got hurt feelings. It's like I'm sorry about your feelings, but those feelings don't actually cost money. So this is a civil lawsuit. How much money?
I believe you can sue for punitive damages if you can prove that there's malice and stuff. Like if this guy's saying all these awful things, people checking. I know it's not true. And he's saying it again and saying it again and saying it again. I'm talking about Ali.
What's up with that guy? Let's talk about him. Guy Ali.
I refuse to give him any attention because he wants it so bad, whether it's negative or not. And honestly, everyone else has done a really good job of checking it out for themselves and defending me. So fuck him.
What's with his chin? Like his chin is ridiculous.
Well, it's a sign of inbreeding.
Is it really
a sign of serious inbreeding? The Habsburg jaw, so the Habsburgs were royalty and inbreeding, and they get that really weird jaw and the nose that points down. It's cousin loving.
Sure. Like when Jay Leno feels insecure about his chin, he just goes and looks at a picture of Ali. That's like Ali Akbar, by the way. Ali Akbar. Real big concern. I would assume it's hard to rise in the conservative movement if your name is Ali Akbar. That might be the worst thing you could possibly be named.
Dude, that dude's done so many crooked things. I don't know why he's even part of the movement. Like he's what he did with C.J. Pearson.
You know why he's part of the movement? Because they need.
That's on him. Like and then here's the thing: if people want to stick around, like, oh, he's my friend, he's great. I'm like, okay, you're probably a douchebag too. Like, I'll just keep that in mind.
Because let's be honest, you know why he's part of the quote unquote movement? Because of conservative affirmative action. That's what it is. They need him because they need more black and brown faces. That's what they need.
He just wants to be an influencer. Like there are people that just want clicks and followers, kind of like little tiny Pulties. And I don't give a shit about that stuff. Obviously, if I did, I would have ran my career a little different. But who gives a shit about that? This stuff is so stupid at the end of the day. But they wanted me to debate him, and so I'm like, why?
Are you at all worried? Are you at all worried about Bill Pulte suing you because he keeps referencing or I don't think I'll actually do it.
Yeah, he can sue me for what? Thinking? Did you see the tweet where I'm like, I don't think he's giving away his own money. He's like, I'm going to sue her for slander. And I'm like, you can't sue someone for thinking.
Have you ever actually said?
What the hell?
I'd have to go back and read it, but have you ever actually? Because that's one thing that I was a little confused about. Is you're suggesting that the money he's donating is not from him?
I think he spent some of his own money to get off the ground and get what he's got going. I think he would have to. But then obviously the Cash App is notorious for just paying people to give away money. So I don't think those small amounts are him. I think allegedly, I think that's it.
Well, he'd be smart to do that. I think.
You see the Code of Bets though. The Code of Bets raised the money for the last car, and he took the credit. So he's not above taking credit, knowing full well he did not open his wallet and throw it down.
Right.
And he's admitted, there's an article, it's in one of my other stuff, I had to highlight it and stuff, where he admits that he's like, I just want to put a little bit of my money, but I really want to build a community of people that do it for me. Because now he's asking teammates, formerly called followers,
Oh, it's like
These
that's such a weird.
people are starving, they're broke, they're begging you for money, and you're like, well, help this guy out with this. And they'll donate instead to the GoFundMe, not Bill. And then he'd be like, yay, look, we did it. You didn't do shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you didn't do shit.
You sent them, you'd probably go into a fraud.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I can say I think, but he obviously isn't giving away his own money.
So have you ever actually said that? Have you said definitively that he's not giving away his money, like in writing?
No, I think I would think, but I'll say it right now. I don't think he's giving away his own money. I mean, that's how honest I am. Shoot, unless I'm looking at the paperwork. But the thing with Code of Vets, the last car they gave, they raised money and stuff like that. But the whole article was like he did it, and then there was like a little blip where he's like, "Oh, I had the help of like 600 people that chipped in."
Yeah.
But he would think he bought it himself, and that's what he wants people to think. So that's the part that I think is deceptive, that there's no transparency about. Mm-hmm. And I don't see how I'm not correct about that assumption.
Yeah.
No, there's more proof that he doesn't than it is. So.
You're totally right about. I mean, I'm being sued right now in New Bedford District Court, or New Bedford Superior Court, actually, because I think I said there was this woman that married a really wealthy guy, but the guy's like 70 or probably, and she's probably like mid 30s. And she's got all this, like, she's driving a Porsche and all. The guy owns half of the South Coast, and I think the comment that was made in the blog was that she's basically a prostitute. That's what it said in there. Not a literal prostitute. It's basically, like you're marrying a rich dude, you get all these nice things, and it's obviously tongue in cheek. It's obviously like opinion, like you're not actually on the corner doing that. But I'm still being sued for it. That's what's like, because they have money. Like, rich people have nothing but, if rich people want to fuck you over, there's nothing scarier than that. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. But don't worry about it. It ain't going to happen. Bill Pulte ain't going to do that because he knows it's a terrible look. This guy's whole brand is built around looking like a nice guy.
Well, it didn't work out for him too well the last 36 hours now, did it?
Well, it didn't look, on your end, as far as on his end, that's why, because he blocks everyone, it seems to be going smoothly. You know what I mean?
It's not. Like I said, if you look at if the follower counts are right, then I'm looking at, he's hemorrhaging followers and magically making up for it one day. So think about that. You're giving away free money if people follow you, and you went negative.
Yeah, that's like,
that says a lot.
Yeah.
That says that people are really onto it. Really, really. And if people thought it was fishy, now that I've posted it, you could do #Pulte scam. Yeah. Look at all these other people that got screwed over or promised something, didn't get it. Lies.
He's accused of inspiring Gretchen Smith. Truth, Gretchen, we talked to Gretchen.
I can't hear you. You sound like.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay.